bésame, bésame mucho. That's all I know. I don't know the word. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. Glad you made it to youth. It's a social production. That's right. It's neither here or there, but nonetheless, we're starting off. It's Wednesday, January 20th, 2026. Thank you for joining me wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Canada, down south, in the United States of America, further down south, Mexico, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, Portugal, France, back over there in the Koreas, Vietnam, Thailand, Taiwan, oh man, and we'll get to that. Wherever you are, underwater, on top of water, on land, inland, you're inserting yourself in the land with lube, without lube, doing it dry, in a cave, on top of a mountain, skiing down, paragliding, tickling yourself, tickling somebody else. They didn't know you were about to tickle them. Run away now. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me again. It's a sip of this shit right here. Beautiful day. The end of the month is near. Your mom's a whore. Your mom's on the floor. Your mom's touching the door. There you go. Let's get right into it. And we're going to start off today. Normally we don't have any sort of like agenda, and today's no different. But sometimes I'm going to start off with the hard topic today. I'm going to start off with the hard topic just because it's not my favorite topic, but because it's happening, it's taking place. Let's just get it. Let's just nip it in the bud in the early stages of it, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to have fun, but we discuss everything, the nonsensical stuff, the important stuff, the silly shit. But let's get this one over with, because again, it's what it is. Let's just ask questions, because I don't even know what's going on. Minneapolis, Minnesota, as of late, again, it's been in the news for the past few weeks, past few months. Issues with ICE. It's ICE versus anti-ICE, anti-ICE versus ICE. It's what is going on. People are trying to do their job, trying to see it from all perspectives. ICE agents going out there trying to, do the border patrolling, get rid of the illegal aliens who are doing illegal activities. And then there's people who are protesting. And then somebody got shot a few weeks ago. This bitch got shot. And then the one that Renee Good, the one that tried to drive over an ICE agent. And then now, just a few days ago, I believe somebody else got shot, Alex Pretti. So let's just reel it in. I don't know. I've seen the footages, minimum footages. I've seen it. I don't know what's going on. But the takeaway from all this, because let's try to move forward together. Let's try to move together, all right? In a positive manner. One could look at this situation, this overall situation, I say, it's clearly working. Whatever we're doing, it's clearly working, okay? Both sides, it's clearly working. And by clearly working, I mean, if you are a fan of chaos, if you are into just like, friggin' a little bit of anarchy, if you like to just, spray paint a little upside down star on your ass and just wiggle your cheeks and, chant derogatory terms to the law enforcement, then things are working. If you're the law enforcement, if you see those images of people try to get in your business while you're trying to do your job, and you're like, oh, just get out of my way, I'm trying to do my job. And all of this from both sides is creating chaos. So if you're like, oh, I'd like a little bit more chaos, then it's working. Then it's working. Let us not back down from either side. Let us not reevaluate any of our positions. Let us not ever put ourselves in any person's shoes on the opposite side of the aisle. Both sides, takeaways from all of this, double down. If you are a fan of chaos, double down. Go out there, and I'm telling you right now, what we've learned, if you go out, if you try to get into the business of ICE, if you try to interrupt their the illegal gatherings, they collect the illegals like Pokemons, or here's a little Pikachu, that's just a little that's a crouching fellow who's slightly tan, and we're not even sure if he's, is it just because he's out in the sun, or is that his dermis? Who knows? Doesn't matter. Collect him anyway. Put him in the back of the truck. But if you get in their face, when push comes to shove, if you get intimidating, they will come at you. You will get shot. You will die. Most likely you'll die. Was this guy carrying a gun with him at the protest? I think he was. I'm not even sure if he was or not, but apparently he was. Is that helpful? again, what are you trying to help with? If you are trying to end it, if you are trying to end your life, because now we know, now you know, people get shot in the face, people get shot in the, you might get shot in the body, and you might just, so if you're like, oh, I'm tired of this shit, I want to end it, but low key, I don't want to do it myself. If you want to do suicide by ice, and people have tried this in the past, which by the way, we've come a long way, because suicide by ice, 10, 20 years ago, you had to go, slipping and sliding. You had to join the Jamaican bobsled team. You had to get out there and lick some icicles. In some places, it's not even that cold. So very difficult. Today, if you're tired of, whatever, and I'm not condoning this by any stretch of the imagination, but if you're tired of your life, get in the ISIS grill and just, put out your chest, throw out a couple of, nasty slurs, and fingers crossed, hopefully, again, if you're trying to end your life, that is a great way to do it. You can go down as, you're not going to be remembered as a hero. You're going to be remembered for at best for 2-3 days, at best. If you're lucky. And even then, what is 2-3 days? But if you are trying to end it, now we know, of course, I'm not picking any sides. I'm just trying to figure it out. Collectively, let's come together, find out what our goal is. If our goal is to lower the temperature, then perhaps we can reevaluate a few things we're doing from both sides. If I'm mistaken, if we don't want to lower the temperature, then keep going, like I said, double down, triple down, quadruple down on both sides. Get out there. Forget raising your family. Forget providing for your children. Forget taking your kids to school. Take them to the protest. Who knows? Your child might get shot. And that's a good thing. If that's what you're, not for me, not for most people, but for some people, you're like, man, what a way to, how do you even teach children to be resilient? Take them to a protest, let them get shot, all right? On the other hand, if you are like, oh, it's so difficult to become a police officer or a SWAT member or get into Delta Force. Fuck all that, man, just become ICE. Much easier. There you go. We wrapped it up. I think we cleaned that up. We nipped it in the bud. Problem solved. Problem still ongoing. Maybe. Who knows? But we take it one step at a time together. Shout out to no one in this particular scenario because it sucks. Another person died. And at the same time, again, ICE agents. I think their hotel was ambushed or bombarded. People were like throwing shit at their hotel. Somebody I don't know what they threw at an ICE agent, but he started bleeding profusely I don't know if it was from his face, but he stood his ground, which is like, I get that, I respect that. You show up to a job, try to do your job, get paid, try to serve and protect. Next thing you know, right there, knocked in you lost all your teeth. You're like, I should have just been playing hockey. But nonetheless, that's neither here or there. Again, not my favorite topic, but it is happening. Heart goes out. Let's settle it together. Why don't you guys switch? I got it. Instantaneously solving the issue. We do Freaky Friday. Protesters. You do the ICE's job. ICE members, ICE police officers. Get out there and dress up as the protesters. Just this Freaky Friday that shit. I'm just telling you, try somebody else's shoes on for a second. Or maybe shoes is too old school. Try somebody else's pair of knickers on. That's knickers. And we're not that kind of show, so you careful what you say out there, but you got to try on somebody else's knickers, and I'm talking dirty knickers too, the ones that have been flipped inside out for a few days, because who has time to do laundry sometimes? So try it on. You might catch a new STI, which again, if it's burning and itching, now you know how it feels. Flip it, reverse it, Freaky Friday that shit. I think we can get together and resolve this issue. I think we resolved it right here, right now. I think we just did it. Congratulations to us, solving so many global issues, one step at a time. Cali fraud. Apparently there's a bunch of fraud. There's been a bunch of fraud with the Somalis, with the daycares. Apparently now there's more fraud being discovered in California. There's fraud everywhere, all right? There's fraud everywhere. The more you look for, it's one of those things. If you look for something, you're gonna find it. Look for something and you'll find it. California homeless funding fraud. Apparently this man, I don't know his name because I didn't bother looking it up, to be honest with you, but allegedly one man has taken out millions of dollars where he was supposed to take that money and help fund the homeless issue by providing housing for the homeless or like feeding them or something. I don't know what he was supposed to do. He was supposed to helping the homeless. That's what he was supposed to do. But he didn't do that. Instead, he took the millions, he invested it on himself. He got himself, I don't know if he had a house and then upgraded the house, added like a garage or extra bedrooms, or he flipped it and switched it or bought a new house. When it comes down to it, he invested in his own personal housing. And I think he got himself a couple of new whips, or maybe he had the same whips, but he upgraded. Maybe he got a new sound system. Maybe he got spinners. Maybe he got rims. I don't know what he did exactly, but apparently he took the millions. Instead of spending it on the homeless, he spent it on himself. And I know what you're all thinking. Baller move. And hell's yes, it is a baller move. You got it, exactly. Why would you waste millions of dollars on homeless without any potential, without any hope, where you can take millions of dollars, you have a few people doing fraud, you see those people thriving in life, and what does that become? That becomes a beacon of hope. If you see a fella or a lady, driving around in a Merc, in a souped up Merc, in a Maybach, and a Bugatti, do you look up to that fellow or lady, or do you look up to the person who's just basically starting to come out of homelessness and maybe has got a new, shopping cart? Which is more admirable? That's my question. I think the clear answer is the man investing the millions of dollars on himself. I'm here for it. Yeah, because if you take millions of dollars, spread it amongst, I don't know how many homeless people that amount of, and this isn't the only case, by the way. So yeah, I don't know how many people that money was supposed to go to, but it doesn't matter. It's a lot of people. And despite the fact that it was millions, once you spread it amongst people, it's not much. It's a million used to mean something. Wish I had $1 million, I'd buy you a house. Doesn't mean it's not the same million as, 30, 40, 50 years ago. It's not the same. So, this guy took millions. He's trying to live that rapper lifestyle. And it's extremely hard to do. And haters are going to hate, all right? They don't understand that you're out here trying to, tooth and claw your way up. They don't get that. So this one individual did fraud. Apparently this is just a tit of the iceberg. That's the saying, the tit of the iceberg, which means once you chip away at the ice, there's more tit underneath the ice. The saying, tit of the iceberg. So apparently there's more fraud, which is again good, which means there's money out there for you to make, money for you to, get. And as for fraud, try to do it. I've always said this. I'll say it again. Try to do white collar crime. Anytime you can do white collar crime, that is, excelente or muy importante, or no, it's bueno. Blue collar crime, no bueno. White collar crime, double, triple buenos. So takeaway from this is that quit hating on this one guy trying to do fraud and better his life, and to the homeless, do your own fraud. Help yourselves, all right? You got to pull yourself up by the old bootstraps. Some of you may not be equipped with bootstraps. Start simple. Get a tattoo of a bootstrap on your feet. And that way you're homeless. You're not going to lose the tattoo that's on your feet, dude. You know what I'm talking about? Whereas you get a boot, you're homeless. You sleep at nighttime, wake up in the morning, that boot is gone. Oh, where am I going to get another pair of boots? How am I going to pull up these laces? Whereas if you get it tattooed, perma boot, foot's probably falling off anyway, from all the injections in your foot. You know what I'm talking about. It's like red and purple. There's a guy actually down the street when I go for my daily walks. He's lost the foot. He sits on the ground. Poor fuck. Oh, my heart goes out. He's got one amputated foot, and he puts a bandage over it. The first time I saw him was several months ago, and the bandage was oozing. It was like oozing, red and brownish, and that must have been fresh. But I can tell that it's gotten better because now he's redone the bandage and it's no longer, it's not seeping through as much. It's like a yellow orangey pus. He's not doing well. Again, take that million, give a little bit to that guy. What's he gonna do? Buy a new foot? No. One guy, the middle class somewhere, takes millions, elevates, which is more admirable. So hell's yes to discovering fraud. Discover fraud your own way. There's nothing like discovering fraud your own way. So congratulations to this one fella doing the Lord's work and uplifting, one person at a time, starting with himself. Start with yourself. A lot of people are like, oh, how do I make a big change? With yourself, all right? Now this next one is a little bit disturbing. You might have seen this one over the past few days. I saw it. I'm shocked, I'm appalled, I'm disgusted. Let's just get into it. What am I talking about? Another Alex, Honnold. Free soloing Alex Honnold. How do I describe this man if you're not familiar with him? If you're not familiar with him, this is the guy that climbs mountains, and now he's done skyscrapers before, but now he just went down to Taiwan and he free climbed one of the tallest buildings. I'm not sure it's one of the tallest buildings in the world it's a tall building. It's a beautiful building. Shout out to Taiwan, shout out to Taipei. It's called Taipei 101. Alex Honnold free climbed this one building, just with, again, free climbing. That means did not pay whatsoever, and climbing. So there's like no money to climb. He didn't pay anything, it's free. And then he climbed. So that's climbing. He climbed. Well, again, I don't know the fella. Have I seen some of his work before? Yes. Do I know much about him? I can only, again, why, what is this? What is going on? Again, some people call him the, gravity phobic. Some people call him the skyscraper tickler. Some people call him a height pervert or a height king because he doesn't, think too highly of, objects or persons that are, vertically challenged. Some people call him the clout tickler. Some people call him, and again, I don't know what to think of it. He climbed the building by himself without any ropes, without any parachutes. I saw it on Netflix. If you want to watch something for roughly 2 hours and have a constant sensation of, oh man, I ought to get some diarrheas up in my rectum, then that is the show for you. And I enjoyed every bit of it. But was it disgusting? Yes. Was it, because this is I don't know what to make of this. It did positive things for me, but I don't know what kind of impact it's going to have on larger society. Like, I saw this and I'm like, man, I got to start climbing. But I don't want to start off like, doing what he's doing, because like, he's a fucking expert. He's been doing it forever. He's got many, many years of, grip strength. That's one of the big keys in climbing. So I'm like, how do I start? How do I start gaining that grip strength? And I came up with a method that, forget years of climbing. I actually refined a art of ass grabbing. You grab ass. I'm telling you right now, fellas know what I'm talking about. Some ladies know what I'm talking about. You grab that ass from behind, and you grab it, you grip it tight, grab, a little bit off the side handle, a little bit just on the side of the hips, you grab the hip, you grab the ass, and you cling it and you thrust it back and forth as you're fucking. And over time, you will build up that grip strength. Some say even mightier grip strength than compared to those who go out there and climb. And I did this within 24 to 36 hours. I myself have been getting phone calls, Netflix, Hulu, people from YouTube, Google, Amazon. It's people are calling. It could also be just scammers. It could also be scammers. But I'm an optimist, so people are calling. Other things that I've done to, get inspired and climb. I start off with tinier objects. So I start off, with tiny animals. If I see a tiny animal now, I'm like, heel, squirrel. And I'll climb on his little shoulders. And I've done that over the past few days. Mastered the squirrel. I found myself a couple of chickens. I'm like, heel, chicken, heel. And as soon as the chicken healed, because I have that communication technique with animals where I get them to just stand still, climbed on top of the chicken's shoulders, moved my way up to finding a few toddlers. I say, heel, toddler, heel. And they're like, oh, I'm a toddler. I've got a weak neck and shoulder. Don't climb on top. I'm like, shut up. God. And I climbed a couple of toddlers, moved my way up. I found some, wimpy little teenagers. Also told them, heel, teenager, heel. Climbed on top of their shoulders. And again, using nothing but my hands and feet. And then eventually moved my way to adult humans, a couple of bitches out there. I told, heel, bitch, heel. A lot of people think, is it easier to climb from the back of a bitch where she's got the rear bumps, or is it more difficult to climb from the front? Because once you get underneath the tits, that's when you're hanging upside down. And I did that. I was hanging from one tit upside down, one hand, dude. Flipped myself, feet over her head, landed on her shoulders, grabbing one again. But that's because of the grip strength that comes from the ass grabbing. I did that, then found and moved my way up to fellas, ginormous fellas, and told them to toss a midget on their shoulder just to make it a little bit more extreme. Did that, climb the giantess with a midget on his shoulders, did that, eventually moved my way up to trees. Buildings, I don't really care for buildings. I'm not gonna, you know, unless it's like demolished. So, and I'll crawl through the debris, and that's, some people say that's even more difficult. And have you tried crawling? Have you fucking tried crawling? Netflix? I fucking, hands and knees, bruv. Hands and knees. My knees, by the end of it, because I got, you know, I'm fine on my knees. But nonetheless, all this to say that, you know, what made Alex Honnold do this? Demonic possession. That's right. Demonic possession, ladies and gentlemen, or a God-given gift and a talent that was tapped at a young age. And he drove forward with it and just, you know, refined it, retuned it, mastered it. Either or, I'm here for it. But at the same rate, he did kind of ruin climbing, because I think he's like the best climber now. There's no one that even comes close. If your child was like, I want to be an aspiring climber, don't, because he already did it. It's over. Unless you start really early. I don't know how early he started, but you start them off at a young age, there's a promising chance that they'll actually flourish. So what I'll tell you this: get your toddler, get your 1.5, 2-year-old toddler, toss him at the side of the building, leave him there. Get him to gnaw at the base. Starts off with gnawing. Just use your teeth. Use your teeth. You don't have any, eh? Excuses. These little bald, little fucking, you know, rugrats. Get them to climb. Threaten them. Show them videos of Alex Honnold, and maybe that'll just be like, a little bit of inspiration, or at least a little bit of sense of threat, that if you want to get good at the game of climbing, you start early, or give up. No, but he is the best. He's the best. Unless there's somebody, I could imagine somebody, you know, in Southeast Asia just climbing trees, dude. I could see that too. I don't want to go in with a particular nation or country, but you could imagine that. You go down somewhere in Southeast Asia, you know, within a few seconds, that beautiful almond-skinned fella is up in the treetop fucking fighting a monkey over a coconut. But that's neither here or there. Find your talent, find your passion, push forward, grip the ass from behind. Reading an article about how kidneys are illegal to sell, and I believe almost all the nations, out of all the 190, 200 nations around the world, with the exception of one country. And I had different thoughts about this. I'm like, man, should people be able to sell kidneys or other body parts? And I thought about it nice and hard. And by that, I mean I was hard while I was thinking about it, because can't help but to be hard when I'm thinking. I'm hard right now. Never been not hard. And I'm here for it. Let's sell kidneys. Let's sell. Apparently, there's people that are dying because there's a lack of kidneys that are being donated. And I don't even like donations. I hate donating. I've donated a bunch of clothes and, you know, personal belongings at different times in my life, but I'm not a fan of it. I rather be able to sell. You know? So selling kidneys, I'm for it. Legalize it. Could this have, you know, possible negative impacts? Of course. But not selling it also have negative impacts. So it cancels the negatives out. What are the negatives? If you could sell it, maybe people would treat their bodies as, you know, objects, objectifying their bodies, which to that I say is like, well, you're getting it now. It makes sense, doesn't it? We're all objects. Commodify yourselves. That's what I say. If you got a good kidney, if you got an extra kidney, and you're like, man, I don't even need this kidney. I can do without this kidney. You know what I could do with? Maybe 10 grand, maybe 100K, maybe $1 million kidney. Maybe you got the best kidney. And I believe we said our body, our choice. I believe we said less is fair. I believe we said free market. So to that I say, put it up on Kijiji or eBay or Amazon or Etsy, whatever platform you can use to sell your body parts. The difficult part is, of course, taking an image of your liver or kidney or whatever other body parts you do want, if it's internal, that is, because it's hard to get one of those, high def cameras inside you. You could go through the anus or the vag if you're female, or the nostrils or the mouth or the ear, but even then it's dark inside. You're not going to get a good picture. Of course, you're like, oh, what if I just take a picture of my body on the outside? Well, they say never judge a book by its cover, so you might be all right on the outside, but dying on the inside, and that's many of us out there. So to that I say, sell the kidneys, and kidneys are just the gateway. Open up the market. All right, I want to see fingers, toes, a nose, a cock. Somebody might be living there with two cocks, and it's like, there's two cock stitches not helping anyone. What if you were to sell one cock? Pretty sure there's probably hundreds of thousands of people missing cocks right now. You're like, I'm about to die, but my titties are fine. Maybe you got like cervical cancer or whatever, but like your titties are fine. Shouldn't you be able to sell your slice off your titties and sell your titty instead of donating it to a bitch that lost a titty in a titty fight accident? And that saves you some trouble of not having enough money and helping your family on the last days of your life here on earth, and it also helps somebody else out there. So change my mind. When I was younger, I would have said, no, don't sell it, because this puts the pressure on impoverished communities to sell their body parts. At the same rate, I do see that times are very difficult for many people out there. So if you can't sell something, sell it. Shouldn't be illegal. That's my take on the matter. Thank you very much for joining me today. Sell whatever you want. Sell an ass cheek. Do you even need two ass cheeks? Sell one ass cheeks. Sell one of your ass cheeks. Get surgery. Move the other one that's remaining to the center. It's like, are you even missing an ass cheek? Do you need two ass cheeks? That's my question for you. Of course, you do need, if you're gonna remove tits, remove both, because I've seen they're like cats. We've seen, you remove the whiskers of a cat, loses balance, runs in circles. Same with a bitch. You remove one tit, spiraling. Two tits, made bank, no longer spiraling. Thank you. Da 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 da. What am I even talking about? Bazookas. Somebody tried to assassinate the one of the mayors in the Philippines using a bazooka, which was not a fan of assassinations, unless low-key there's some really evil figures that could probably use some assassinations, but it's not for me to decide. But overall, thoughts on bazookas being used in assassination attempts. Again, I don't know the Filipino mayor, and I don't know this bazooka, and I don't know the fellow who was wielding it either. But there's an image, there's a video. They drive in a car, he rolls out, whips it out over the shoulder, fires it off, hits his car, I think, but he still survived. To that I say, again, having grown up on a lot of 80s and 90s movies as a child, that was the heyday of the bazooka. I mean, fucking Rambo, dude. Bazooka City and other movies. God, so many movies with bazookas. I'm here for it. Because we don't see that too often anymore. Everything's getting like, oh, bring in a drone, bring in the androids, bring in the robots. Bazooka, I could see it, and I have heard a lot of people, millennials, Gen Z, even probably in a few years we'll hear Gen Alpha going back to retro tech. You hear everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna get a cassette player. I'm gonna get a actual record and put it on a little record player and listen to my music in an analog fashion, because like I feel nostalgic and it's gonna be cool. And it is cool, isn't it? And same thing with bazookas. It's nostalgic. It's like, it's a throwback. So you don't have downsides if you are going to try to, use a bazooka to actually do some damage to somebody. Downside of it is I don't know how you're going to get practice with a bazooka. because it's wheeling that thing around. You're gonna be knocking around people's, faces, and teeth are gonna be falling out. You're not gonna have any friends left if you wield it around too much, but it's hard to get practice. So what are you gonna do? I hope you got some understanding friends. If you knock them in the cock and their cock falls off because you just knocked them in the cock with a bazooka, I hope they're understanding. And the bullets are probably expensive. They're not as cheap as the little like gun bullets. So that one, but for visual effects, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here for it. I do like the bazooka. Make sure to aim. It's very tricky sometimes. Make sure to aim it forward. That's one thing I'll say. Make sure to aim it forward, because if you are not careful, easily it could fucking backfire and you're dead, or somebody behind you is dead. The downside of the bazooka is that it's not, you can't hide it well. Like, a little pistol you could hide easily. The bazooka is very difficult unless you dress it up. Dress it up as like an old lady and people start hitting on it, then it might become a issue, because somebody might come up and be like, oh, who's your beautiful sister there? Saying that to your bazooka is dressed up as an older woman, and you're like, it's not my sister, it's my grandma. And then the fella hitting on her say, she's not, no way she's old enough to be your grandma. How about I take her out on a date and eat her pussy out and eat her ass from the back? How about that? And you're like, quit it, fella, get out of here. My grandma's not interested. And he won't back down, because he won't believe it, because your bazooka might not look that old. Takeaway, moral of the story is, if you're using makeup to make the bazooka look like an old lady, really like put in the work. Gray hair, all right? Add in a few wrinkles. Make it vibrate a little bit, like it's got the shakes. But maybe the fellow will like that. Everybody likes a little extra shake. What are we even talking about? I don't even know, ladies and gentlemen. It's Wednesday, so that's what I do know. Shout out to the bazookas out there. I'm happy that nobody died. Unless he was a terrible mayor and really people didn't like him. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know much. One of the pillars of this podcast. I don't know anything. I don't know much. Just know today's Wednesday and it's January 20 something. 28th. That's right. What else is going on in and around the world? That's right. A lot of people have been wondering, how could we do porn, but instead of having it be a solitary activity, how could we turn this into a group activity? And I'm glad you asked that. Thank you. Group porn watching. How could I take this one isolated activity that I do by myself and bring in the people that I love close to me, so that we could all share watching porn together? Excuse me for a second, just because I've got something in my eye. I believe it's an eyelash. Or just bear with me a few seconds here. This is God. Is it out? Who knows? Better? Yes, much better. Thank you. Right. Watching porn with the group. How could you do this? First and foremost, I'll say that that's so considerate of you. A lot of people will just go on watching porn and getting all the benefits by themselves. Just me. I'm not going to share. But having that wherewithal to be like, why don't I bring the people that I love and share this experience with them? That tells me that you are a giver. You're not, a lot of people could get in the rat race and just become very conceited and after it for themselves. But if you're willing to share what's near and dear to you with other people, I say, do it up, sister. Do it up, brother. And it starts off with family. Starts off with people you love, right? Next time you have family over, instead of, let's just watch, what's the sporting event that's going on right now? Let's watch the Super Bowl is coming on, and watch the Super Bowl. That's great. But like low key, it wouldn't hurt you to 1 year just be like, yo, fam, let's get together. And while we're discussing, Johnny's new wheelchair ramp and grandma's, and talking about grandma's, new liver spots, or trying to locate them at least, because a few of them ran off last week, and that was kind of crazy. how that happened. But nonetheless, you're discussing all these familial issues, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, we're gonna just put something on in the background. What better than porn? Am I right? Where life starts from. Not porn, but the act of the sexuals. And you could put that in the background, turn it up a little bit, have people watching and just like, eating popcorn, Doritos, dipping, chipping and dipping. You know what I'm talking about, family gatherings. You're like, that's great, Rob. But what about friends? I'm glad you asked. You could invite your friends over, all right? And instead of like listening to music or watching a movie, sit down and find a long format porn for like an hour or two and watch that instead. And a lot of people are like, no way, people don't have the attention span anymore. I say it's the contrary. People have the attention span. People have and they're thirsty for it. So please invite your friends over, select something that you all enjoy, and put it on and watch it together. You're like, though, this works for family or friends, but what about my work colleagues? Again, friends, work colleagues are just basically your second family, because you probably spend more time with them than you do with your actual family. And if you watched porn with your family that you spend very little time with, what stops you from watching porn with your second family and that's a better family too, by the way, because that family earns you money at least. You contribute together, you earn money. And so to that I say there's no harm or foul in sitting down and watching porn with your work family. That only statistics, our research shows that tightens the bond between the workers, and when they go back to work after they might be a little bit turned on or extremely turned on, but the numbers don't lie, ladies and gentlemen. The sales through the roof, because everybody's in the mood to do the work, if you know what I mean. Right there, right? So watch it together. There's no shame, there's no downside. And again, it takes one activity that's mainly solitary and isolated and brings the community together, and we could all use a little bit more of that today, couldn't we? So you're welcome, and also thank you for that riveting thought-provoking question and or concern. I hope this helps resolve it. Someone asked out there, how do I trap a gay? That is a very interesting way of putting it. How to trap a gay. Let me think about this for a second. Trapping a gay is like trapping trapping any other thing. All right, friend? Get yourself some trapping gear. I'm talking nets. I'm talking some rope. I'm talking find what the gay that you're intending to trap likes, whether it's food items, little knickknacks. Place it on the ground. Place it wherever they are, near their dwelling, outside. Find the route that they typically go on. Place the said items that they like, whether it could be fine wine, it could be cheese, it could be like, put up a charcuterie board, put that on the ground. Have the net hovering over the said gay. The gay goes to grab the charcuterie board after finding nobody else is going for it, picks up the cheese, picks up the grapes, picks up the cold cuts, drop the net on the gay, put him in the net, put him on your back, walk away. That's one method of trapping a gay. Of course, another method could be that you dig a hole. Place said charcuterie board on top of the hole. Of course, cover the hole with some sort of, if it's in the woods, cover it so that it seems as if it's just more wooded ground or just more of nature. Make it blend in. Use what you have available to you. Leaves, tree branches that have fallen off. Make it look as if it's just a regular part of ground. Put the charcuterie board on top of the lid or the covering of the hole. Have the gay go over to pick up said charcuterie items, falls through the hole. You just trapped yourself a gay. Making a fake building entrance, always useful for trapping anyone, but also useful for trapping gays. Put on construction gear. No one ever questions anybody in construction gear, and that goes with the psychology of attire, my friends. You put on a neon orange vest and a hard hat, walk up to a building that's midway doing construction, start working, build a little trap door, place a charcuterie board near the trap door, have the gay approach the charcuterie by the trap door, tips over, falls into your trap room, you've just trapped yourself, another gay. And these are just some methods that you could use to trap a gay. There's plenty more. If you know some methods on how to trap, you're like, how do I trap a gay on a steamboat? That's for another episode. But I hope these suggestions help. If you have any other methods, of course, please do feel free to share them in the comment section. If you have been trapping a gay or have been a trapped gay yourself, leave a comment. Ladies and gents, a 5-year-old, no, wait a minute, he's not 5, I don't know his age, but a young child. I don't know where the 5 came from. I was gonna say Florida. A child from Florida. A child from Florida was just caught on camera stomping a duck to death. I think he stomped him 7 times and got caught on a neighbor's camera. People are freaking out. They're like, who is this child duck killer? And to that I wanna say, hold it. Don't lose your cool. Don't lose your head. Now, although this is not something that I'm a fan of, it's not something I agree with, I do want to say taking that child away from, again, happened in Florida, remove him from the context and the setting. If this was almost any other place outside of North America, Western Europe, and other parts of the world, if a child stomps an animal, I'm not saying they'll be, clapping and pleased with the whole situation, but they wouldn't necessarily be too concerned about it either. You know what I'm talking about? It could just be lunchtime. Some places on the planet, if a child goes out there and stomps a duck, could just mean that we're having brunch today, or the family's gonna be eating good tonight. So again, I'm not condoning it, but I'm just saying, how do we deal with this child? Stomped him like 7 times. Trying to see it again, trying to look for the positive here. This whole story is just, God, sickening. But nonetheless, he could be recruited into the army and made into a professional killer that we could use later on, because the signs are there. I mean, animal cruelty to that level. But again, context, setting, knowing the psychology. 8 billion of us out there, not everyone's made the same way. This child maybe do a little bit of research into the family, see what's going on over there. But nonetheless, still, if everything else checks out, if it's not a repeated pattern, potentially he could be turned into a killer, a vessel that we might need somewhere down the line. So recruit him early, but don't let him know he's recruited. Don't let him know he's recruited. That way, you could avoid responsibility if he really fucking loses and does something cray like killing a person. So have your eye on him, watch him. Train him once you find him, put him into martial arts. Also, ducks, did that, was that talk, was that duck just, talking smack, because probably not, but you never know. It's good to check, you never know. Maybe the duck had some issues. Maybe the duck was the problem. Before you lose your temper, lose your cool, you're like, this kid's a killer. I mean, yes, technically he is, but not, it could have been worse. Again, if it's his first time, you could probably, work some things out. If it's a repeated pattern, then potential issues. But the good thing is, if you just, again, look at it from, eagle eye perspective, if you and your child were somewhere in a third world nation, it was just, that's a hunter essentially. All right. So perspective, maybe we're a little bit too comfortable. Maybe we've lost sight. Maybe he's still got a little bit of that, innate animalistic instincts that we try to, suppress so often in modern society. But in other places in the world, he would have just, he'd be getting all the puss. He'd probably be getting all the puss. Little kid, bring it home, din. Solved that one right there, didn't we? Solving issues, left, right, and center, ladies and gentlemen. This one saddens me. It pulls on my heartstrings. A woman's vape. She was charging it in her car. I don't know the location. Somewhere in the US. She charged it. It overcharged. It got heated. She went to go for it. It burned her, sizzled. Burned her hand. She tossed it somewhere. few seconds later, it's a video of her outside her car in the distance. The car's burning down because of the overcharged or, overheated vape. Takeaway from this. I've said it before, I'll say it again, ladies and gents. Quit with the vaping. Quit it. If you're gonna inhale and exhale some sort of smoke, all right? There's a proven, foolproof way of doing it, and you could look amazing doing it. It's called cigarettes. This isn't, all right? Quit with the vaping, all right? If you're gonna do it, smoke a cigarette, all right? This is a burnt car, burnt the entire car. She's lucky she got away, all right? She's lucky she got away. Pick up a cigarette. I'm not advocating for it, I'm just saying if you are gonna do it, cigarettes, probably better for you than vapes. And that's not by any, that's just a gut feeling. And it looks way better. As an adult, I could see how young kids wanted to get into smoking, but if you're an adult, you know better. You should know better. Either don't inhale or exhale any sort of fumes, or if you are gonna do it properly. Please. Have some dignity, have some self-respect. If you are vaping, just come out the closet already. And it's 2026. You don't need to be tiptoeing around. Just put down the vape. Say it. You're a fiending homosexual, and that's completely cool. But quit. I'm vaping. Just pick up a cigarette like a man or a woman. Smoke it. Enjoy it. You're gonna die anyway. Everyone's gonna eventually. All this wanting to, prolong the life. It's all good. But life is mysterious, and if you're gonna enjoy it properly. Is what I'm trying to tell you. Don't let these. Oh, I hate vapes. I hate them. Just forget it. Just put a pacifier, put a soother in your mouth instead. If it was socially acceptable, by the way, all these, and they're not even problems, but remedies to potential problem, all of it would be solved if we just gave into the fact that we are people, we are humans, that we have oral fixations. A lot of times, smoking, eating too much, not eating enough. All these things, I'm not the one who said it. Freud says oral fixation. Freud said it, all right? We should all probably be sucking on titties and cocks and eating puss way more, because we're all busy now. We're all busy. Fellas trying to run a fraud and live a wonderful millionaire lifestyle out there doesn't have time to be sucking on titties and sucking on clits and sucking on cocks or whatever he's into. I don't know what he's into, but the point is, everybody's out there running around, and you're like, oh, how do I fix this oral fixation? Let me just get a ciggy and be in control for 5 seconds. And by control, I mean just soothe my oral fixation, the need to put something in my mouth and just, So takeaway from that is put the vape down, pick up a cigarette. If you can't put the vape down, just come out the closet. Again, it's 2026. No one's judging you. No one cares. Just show up to a BDSM little get together, put the leather outfit on, get on a swing set, and let a train run through you. All right, bud? With your vape pens? God. A mother is pleading for her 15-year-old safe return after he met somebody on Roblox, the gaming platform, which I'm not familiar with, because again, I'm a full-grown adult who doesn't play games, unless player be playing, you know what I'm saying? Unless players be out to play, then players get down and play, the game of life, son. Players be playing the game of life, but I don't need no controller, cause I be playing the game. I'm a player. There's a gaming platform, kids get on it, and apparently child molesters also get on it too. So a 15-year-old from somewhere met somebody online on this Roblox platform, decided to go off and meet him or her, probably him, in New York. And his mom has come out and said he's been missing for some time. I think it's been like 2 weeks, I'm not even sure, but she's pleading for her safe return. And to this, I say that your child's gone. That kid's gone. Man, that kid is gone. Roblox, it is a not just the platform, but one of the platforms that helps you if you want to get rid of your child. If you're like, man, this kid's never gonna leave. This kid's never gonna fucking leave. He's gonna be under this roof playing games till he's in his 40s, 50s. He's never gonna fucking leave. Put him on Roblox. It's tested, it's been proven, and it works. He's not gonna return. The possible outcome that he might get, is he gonna get hurt? Who knows? Who knows? But if you don't let them bump their knees and scrape their ass cheeks, then they won't learn, will they? He's gone. It's been way past 48 hours. I believe it's been set two weeks, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not even sure, to be honest with you, but he's gone. He's gone. He's in New York. Once you go to New York, you can, the city either makes or breaks you. It's one of the things they say about this, the city never sleeps, so he's probably sleep deprived. Things could go horribly, horribly wrong. He could be getting sex trafficked because I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it real. Some people don't want to, be real. He could be getting sex trafficked right now. But of course, I may be completely wrong. He may have fallen into a lovely, lovely group of people his own age that are just teenagers having fun. It could just be that he is at Sasha's house, or or at Stephanie's house. They could be, who knows? It could be young love. It could be young puppy love. All right. He doesn't understand the comprehension. He doesn't have that. He doesn't know what it's like to be a parent. I know what it's like to be a parent, because I am a parent to 5,732 children. That's right. Nobody knows how to parent more than I. So to that I say, your child is gone, for better or worse. Keep an eye on your children. Get on their social media platforms, whatever games they're playing, play it with them, be included, know what they're doing. Hopefully he'll come out of this stronger. Hopefully he won't get recruited into a gang and get face tattoos, but these are all the options. I'm keeping it on the table because a lot of times people don't want to put it on the table. They're like, he'll be fine. He's getting face tattoos right now. He's getting face tattoos. All right. He's getting little balloons filled with all sorts of narcotics put up his ass probably. We should put it on the table so that people know. Not talking about it doesn't help. Or it could be just a harmless get-together amongst a group of friends who met while playing games on Roblox. Who knows? Or he could be in the back of a van all the way down to Tijuana right now, getting passed around by a lot of muchachos, if you know what I mean, for no pay. Here's a little bar of Kit Kat. Have a break. God, he could be fine. He could be fine. A BC man, that's not a man before Christ or after Christ. That's a man from British Columbia here in Western Canada. Was caught on camera. Another fellow was caught on camera, apparently violating a horse. This beautiful BC man got caught violating a horse, and the farm owner and the horse owner was upset. I don't know what they meant by saying violating, though. They kept it real PG, and that again doesn't help because we don't know what violating the horse means. I don't know what that means. Did the man just get in, did he get on the farm where he's not supposed to? Did he go trespassing and he petted did he pet the horse too hard, or did he? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I try to pay attention. I think it was a female horse. I think he got in there, if you know what I mean. To be further, to make myself clear, I think he put his peen inside the horse's vag, and I think he came in. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. It left a lot open to imagination, but it said violated the horse. Horse seemed to be all right afterward. They still showed the horse after. I'm not even sure if the horse is fine, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if the horse isn't fine. I don't even know, because these are human terms we put on these animals. Violated the animal. So he fucked this horse. We've heard of that one video where a guy gets fucked by the horse and he dies. I've not seen that video myself, but apparently there's one out there. Mr. Horse, Dr. Horse, who knows? But a man gets fucked by a horse, a male horse, and he dies because the horse goes way too deep inside him. He fucks his internals up. But this time, the male, I think, went inside the female horse. I think we're playing it very fast and loose with the term violate. If it's male to female horse, I don't even think she felt anything, to be honest with you. Horses' cocks are huge. I've seen a couple just in real life. A male penis, even let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say it was an 8-incher, you know. I'm gonna 8-inch. That is extremely hard to come by. A 9-incher, even a 9-incher, that horse probably still not feeling much. Now, should you do it? I mean, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of bestiality, but again, I'm just saying, violating a horse. What if the horse was happy? What if the horse liked it? Animals like to, clearly they like doing the sex. It's not like they don't. It's not like it causes them pain. Is it, if it was a smaller animal, I'd be like, yeah, violate, but a horse is quite large, so I don't know how this happened. All in all, I'm saying is do more research. If the animal likes it, perhaps this could be a business for people who like to fuck animals. We could bring him in. Large animals. We're not gonna have giant humans like 6'4" fucking kittens here. Let's not get crazy, but giant animals. I'm talking about a grizzly bear. What if you find out that grizzly bears could be easily tamed only if they were to be jerked off? Then you'd hire people, professionals who like to do bestiality, and you get them in there and you're like, we need to tame this bear that's causing havoc through this town, going around killing everybody. We don't know what to do with him. You find out he likes being jerked off, send these fellows who like bestiality and then jerk him off, and the bear is a little bit more relaxed. Putting ideas out there, put it on the back burner, think twice before you label it violating. I don't know. I believe there is again, going back, ladies and gentlemen, to start them off early at their passions, how to get the kids to climb or do something. You get them to start early, extremely early, all right? A two-year-old, I found this out, named Jude from the UK. He's now inducted into the Guinness World Book of Records for being a snooker genius. And I said snooker. I said snooker. We're not that kind of show. You're not going to get a hard snooker out of me. I'm going to say snooker. I said snooker, all right? Relax. It's just words. Snooker, not snooker. He's a snooker genius, and his father taught him, because his father is a snooker player. And this kid's he's doing trick shots on the pool table or on the snooker table, which is basically in form of a pool. It's the same thing. It's the same table, different game. Same table, different game. But you know what? Billiards, pool, snooker, all variations of the same ball and stick game. Hand-eye coordination, geometry, math, physics, science, biology, chemistry, maybe not. Maybe take away chemistry, but everything else pretty much lines up, and so does this kid behind the ball, right there, in the pocket, left, right, and center. He got them all, and 2 years old, which makes me think it's time to reevaluate how your kids are performing. If your kid is 2 years old and has not been inducted into the Guinness World Book of Records for something, dump that kid, dump him, get a fresh start. Jude is an inspiration. Jude is a go-getter. What's your kid doing at 2 years old, huh? What's your kid doing? Crawl around the ground, biting your ankles, crapping himself. Jude, 2 years old, Guinness World Book of Records, snooker. Do you know how hard it is to play good pool? I'm not talking like one fluke shot or like a couple in there. He's really fucking good. For 2 years old, he's mastered moves that masters who are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s are struggling with. Moral of that story is get better kids. Look at Jude. If your kid is not performing, show a video of Jude to this kid and be like, hey, it's cutthroat out there for kids. You want your Pampers? You want your titty milk? Oh, find a way to pay for it, all right? Quit being a freeloader. What I'm trying to tell you is have a heart-to-heart with your kids. Let them know that hard work at an early age with persistence and consistency leads to fame, fortune, and lots of puss and or cock when they're older, of course, when they decide to, whichever way they decide to fucking take it. But nonetheless, a lot of it, but it comes with hard work and being good at stuff. The moral of the story is that your child's probably, in comparison to Jude, a big failure. And that's not a reflection on you. It's not. It's your kid. It's your kid. Return your kid. Exchange your kid. Take him back. There is an international group of people who are doing some extremely weird and potentially dangerous activities. Apparently, an anonymous group of ninjas are going around and finding black men in their sleep and slipping on 2 condoms on top of their large black cocks. So to get their large black cocks to shrink in size. The rationale behind this is that they've seen people drop weight, extreme LBS, weight loss, by wearing garbage bags over their bodies and going out there for hikes, runs, jogs, even walking. They took this science of wrapping yourself with plastic and applied it to the black cock. These ninjas find beautiful black men at nighttime when they're asleep. They slip on 2, sometimes even 3, yes, ladies, believe it or not, sometimes even 3 condoms on top of the black cocks. And these fellas wake up in the morning and their dicks have significantly shrinked in size, and no one knows what to do. To that I say, we are together, we are gonna stand up strong, and we're not gonna sleep until we find the culprits behind this sick activity. Black men, you are not alone. To my brothers, you are not alone. If you find yourself waking up in the morning with 2-3 condoms on your cock, know that this is bigger than you, friend. Know that there are bigger and more powerful sources at play behind the scenes, playing puppet master. All right? And they're trying to shrink your black cock. Simply remove the 2 to 3 layers of condoms off your cock. Quickly get a large pint of cold water, dump it on your cock, and watch it grow big and girthy once again. In the meantime, I'll be waking up in the middle of the night to go for random strolls. I'm not going to tell you when. I'm not going to tell you where. I'll be strolling the neighborhoods. If I see any sort of sus activity of masked ninjas with 2-3 condoms on their personage, I will definitely make a move and bring it down and stop and put an end to it. To my beautiful black men, do not be afraid. We stand together, despite the fact that your cock is much bigger than mine, most of you. I myself say, we'll protect you. We will protect you. We'll find out who's behind this sick movement, how it started, how they're even getting 2-3 condoms to stay on top of one another, because it's very difficult. I don't know if you've tried it or not, but like putting 2 condoms on is not, it's slippery, it's messy, and they do it while these men sleep. How? Who knows? Will we get to the bottom of it? Of course, in due time. I just wanted to let you know that your boy's on top of this shit. All right? Move during your sleep. Do not sleep in one position. Move around. Turn, because that keeps it difficult, makes it hard for somebody to climb on top of you and place 2-3 condoms on top of your dick. You're welcome. When will it end? Sooner than you think. Let us begin. Why do we say that? Let us begin. What is this mentality that we try to, impose on ourselves and other people? Let us begin. Let us begin. I've never seen a person actually turn into lettuce and begin or start doing whatever it is that they're trying to do. But we always say it. Most people say, let us begin. Let us begin. Trying to, manifest a person to turn into a lettuce and start off whatever it is that they're trying to start off. Let us begin. Let us begin. And why lettuce? Why has big lettuce gotten its big corporate hands around our necks and making us say these things? Why do we aspire to be lettuce, which is not nutritious in any way? Let us begin. Let us begin. No one has yet to actually transform into lettuce. Secondly, what are the positives of transforming into lettuce and then beginning? Why can't you go on as just being a human being and then just beginning? Why do you have to resort to such low lows? Let us begin. Let us start. No one has opted for any other form of food, and I don't even know why we'd want to transform into food before we begin our journeys on whatever it is that we're trying to chase in life. Let us begin. You're a beautiful human being, far more intelligent than any piece of lettuce, any piece of, vegetable or radish, better than even a cheeseburger, despite the fact that cheeseburger fucks. That's how good the cheeseburger is, but you never say cheeseburger, begin. Spaghetti bolognese, begin. Spaghetti bolognese, begin. Let us begin. Why? End it now. End Big Lettuce's corporate grip around our necks and say nay. We will not let us begin. We will just begin. People have come and asked me, Rob, could you help out the community? Because we're having a difficult time here, and I just said, hey, what's going on? Let me know what's going on, and I'll try to help. People are finding it very difficult to get head and or give head in confined spaces, or even sometimes in large spaces. Thank you for that anonymous tip that came in and let me know what is going on the streets. Are you having a difficult time giving head and or getting head in confined spaces and sometimes large spaces? Friend, through every dark time comes a time where you finally find the light switch after bumping your knee against the coffee table and stubbing your toe and bleeding and getting an infection, which you thought would go away after a few days, and lack of visits to the doctor have made you now have to go down the road of potentially amputating your leg. But nonetheless, after you find that light switch, you flick it and wow, what do you know? This light bulb needs to be changed. So still in darkness, nonetheless, you've actually find yourself in a situation where you have other light bulbs available to you. So you unscrew the light bulb that's not working, you put in the one that is, and voila. That's French for I don't know what, but you get light. And the point of this is that if you are having a difficult time getting or giving head in confined spaces, let's take the elevator, for example. You get into an elevator, standing there, female wants to go down on you, she wants to give you head. And you're like, man, this building's got like 24 floors. What if someone were to press a button at any given time and open the door to the elevator? It's not going to be fun, is it? Tell you what, you can still have your elevator and get your cock sucked off too. A lot of times people don't know how to work corners. Simply turn around so that your back is on the outside. She should be in a corner at a 90-degree angle, down on her knees, giving you sloppy toppy, while you've got your back turned to the door of the elevator. So if you are the door, what you want to do is you'd want to turn around like so, have her beneath you, giving her full coverage. So this is the art of turning around. So to give coverage and using the corner to your advantage. You're like, what about a dinner party at a large gala? Oh, a large gala. Gala. If I could say a thing or two about large galas. Getting invited to a gala, I've never been to any, but I can imagine what it's like. Tables, people, tablecloths over tables, people, champagne afloat, bubbly. caviar, strawberries dipped in chocolate, little shrimps, little shrimps with little shrimp arms, little shrimps. Let me get in your arm. Let me just cuddle me before you eat me. You know, shrimps, how shrimps do. So you want to get head. Normally you'd find probably a little, plants. They use plants as well, like a little, look at this little tree that's for the indoors. Stand beside the tree, turn once again, protecting her with coverage. You should be facing the outside. No, your back should be facing the outside, giving her coverage so that she could kneel down and give you sloppy toppy. Once again, we are finding things to conceal our bodies. Okay, so if your back is turned against the party's behind me, I'm turned around. She's down there right now, giving sloppy toppy. No one sees her. No one sees. She's safe. She's safe. You're like, what if I want to eat her out? Hey, I'm that guy. What if I want to eat her out, pal? Because you've got all the answers for all the chicks who want to give head in confined spaces and maybe sometimes large spaces. But what if I want to give head? Well, friend, simply have your female or male companion do the blocking for you. Turning around allows anyone to give and or give head at any given time, any given place. So take that to the bank. Until next time, remember, turn around. Peace out. Get out of here.